Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. This is the 25th part of What If Deku Was a Magical Girl Mascot, Quirk, Magical Girl Mascot. The author of this great fanfic is Emma. I will leave links to them and original story in the description. Chapter 25, Tenya's Adjustment. They were taken to the hospital to treat any wounds they had. Izuku did have a few injuries from when the Nomu attacked him both times, though mostly from the second time. They were allowed to share a room due to the fact that Shoto and Tenya were boys. "Did you get any sleep last night?" asked Shoto. "No," said Tenya. "Unfortunately," sighed Izuku in animal form. They were able to see now the gem on his forehead now shifted to sky blue on occasion along with all the other colors. "You have to take a nap later," said Shoto. "I know," sighed Izuku. "If you hadn't found me," sighed Tenya. "I can't help but to wonder how strong my healing abilities are," sighed Izuku. Tenya nodded. "I wonder," said Izuku. "It's clear it can heal old injuries." Tenya looked at Izuku. "Wait, are you thinking?" said Tenya. Izuku nodded. "When I visit him next time I tell him you made the offer," said Tenya. Izuku nodded. "Hey!" called out a voice. "Manual," said Tenya. She got up and walked over to the hero that was supposed to act as their mentor. "I thought it was a joke when they said that you were turned into a girl, but it's true," said Manual with some amusement in his voice. Tenya just sighed. Manual then lightly smacked Tenya in the head. "Do you know how much trouble you caused?" said Manual. Tenya nodded. "Now you have another guest," said Manual. "It's not Endeavor, is it?" asked Izuku. Manual stared at Izuku. "This is my default form," sighed Izuku. "No, it's not him," said Manual. "Wait, did you really become a magical girl?" Tenya sighed and nodded. "So they weren't messing with me," said Manual under his breath. That was when a man who looked like a dog entered. "This is the chief of police here in Hosu," said Manual. "I am Kenji Tsuragami." "Woof," said the dog-headed man. "Woof," thought Izuku with a sweat drop. "What happened to the hero killer?" asked Shoto. Tsuragami sighed. "Stain is alive, has several broken bones. Don't worry, he is under heavy guard," he explained. The three all nodded. "Tenya Ida," said Tsuragami, staring at "Now girl, you have caused a lot of trouble by going after the hero killer." Tenya sighed. "There are laws," he explained. "When quirks first arose, the police decided to not use it as a weapon. However, that was when pro heroes came in. It was decided that they would do what the police couldn't. A person just can't use their quirk the way they feel like, especially attacking people. That is why heroes and people with other licenses have approval." Tenya sighed at this. "We defeated the hero killer," said Shoto. "If it weren't for us, then he would have. Make no mistake." He sighed. "You and Midoriya aren't in trouble. According to Endeavor, he did give you permission. Granted, he told you to evacuate bystanders, however there were reports that one of you were attacked by one of those monsters." Izuku nodded. "I don't know why, but that same one that Stain killed had attacked me earlier. It was after me and I don't know why." Tsuragami nodded. "I can understand somewhat why you would forget those orders," he said, "not to mention that circumstances. Though in my opinion, the two of you could have easily evacuated the two to safety instead of fighting Stain, but that's neither here nor there." Both Izuku and Shoto sighed. "Now unofficially, I can say thank you for all three of you. You three did a service to not only Hosu but all of Japan." "There's a but coming, isn't there?" asked Izuku. Unfortunately only you and Todoroki can take credit," said Tsuragami. "What?" yelled Izuku. But he did just as much as the rest of us, said Shoto. Tenya deserves the credit too, said Izuku. He broke the law, pointed out Tsurigami. Do you think that deserves to be rewarded? Both Shoto and Izuku were quiet. Don't worry, he won't get in trouble for this, said Tsurigami, which is why he won't be receiving credit. Who will get credit if we refuse? Asked Shoto. Endeavor, he explained. Shoto and Izuku both flinched. Do it, said Tenya. But you helped us in the fight. And? Said Izuku. I did help you, but that was only after you bonded with me, said Tenya. Tenya, said Izuku. Izuku, the blood is still in the alleyway, said Tenya. It didn't magically go back into my body. Izuku looked down. I shouldn't have gone after Stain, said Tenya. I almost died. But, said Izuku, if it wasn't for you, Quirk, I wouldn't be alive, not to mention you wouldn't have had to gotten involved if I hadn't gone after him, said Tenya. Are you sure? Asked Izuku. Tenya looked at Shoto. Besides, I don't think it's a good idea if Endeavor got the credit, said Tenya. Shoto sighed when she said that. You just had to play that card, didn't you? Asked Shoto. Izuku sighed, realizing he would probably be the minority in it now. You two deserve it, said Tenya. The official story is going to be you bonded after the fight, realizing that the ambulance wouldn't get there in time, explained Tsurigami. I see, sighed Izuku. It was clear he didn't like taking the credit. Are you sure you want this? I'm putting my foot down. I don't deserve the credit, you two do, said Tenya. But, said Izuku. Don't make me explain the situation to Bakugo, said Tenya. Izuku's sweat dropped. Yeah. Kaken would make me take the credit, sighed Izuku. Izuku sighed. I know you think that it should be all or another, but as a hero you should know that there needs to comprises, said Tsurigami. Izuku nodded. After Manuel and the chief left, the three knew there was more to talk about. Have you gotten in contact with the other yet? Asked Shoto. Yeah. I said there needs to be an emergency group chat. We have to wait until around 12:30, said Izuku. Lunch does make sense, that would be the time to talk, said Tenya. But I'm sure Mom will know much sooner, sighed Izuku. Get some sleep until then, said Tenya. Izuku sighed. He only had a couple he could turn human right now. If he wanted to restore some of that time, he needed a nap. I'll wake you up when it's time, said Shoto. Thanks, sighed Izuku. He took a nap, and around 12:30 he was woken up and he opened up the telepathy. After he had gotten a chance to wake up a little, he opened up telepathy. Hey! Called out Izuku. He looked at Tenya to remain. Izuku! Are you alright? I heard what happened, mentally cried Inko. I'm fine. I'm pretty sure I got more injured from the other thing, thought Izuku. Other thing? Asked both Katsuki and Achiko. I'll explain later, thought Izuku. But do you want to know the official story or the real story? Did you get involved in a cover-up? Asked Tsuyu. We did, answered Shoto. What happened? Asked Katsuki. Well, first off, I got a new partner, thought Izuku. What? Asked Achiko and Tsuyu, confused. Oh, what the fuck? Mentally yelled Katsuki. Let me explain, mentally cried Izuku. No, I'm not angry, are you? I'm angry at leg day, explained Katsuki. What? Asked Achiko. Wait, thought Tsuyu. The trash fire took them to Hosu, remember, to find the hero killer. Pointed out Katsuki. Something must have happened to make Deku bond with him. It's true, Tenya explained as she jumped into the conversation. What happened? Asked Achiko. Remember how I healed your leg and Shoto's scar? Asked Izuku rather nervously. There was a silence among them. How bad was it? Asked Tsuyu. I almost bled out, had it not been for Izuku initiating the bond. I would be dead right now, explained Tenya. No, mentally whispered Achiko. Okay, what's the cover-up? Asked Katsuki. Well, sighed Izuku. They explained how they all defeated Stain and how due to the fact that Tenya didn't have permission, he wasn't able to get credit for the defeat and was thankfully avoiding punishment because of it. Wait, you didn't protest it? Asked Katsuki suspicious. I didn't want to get credit unless Tenya got it, but... thought Izuku. I believe I don't deserve credit, explained Tenya. Had we not taken the credit, it would have officially went to Endeavor? Explained Shoto. Oh fuck no, yelled Katsuki. If it was someone else, I would have said give them credit. But that garbage fire doesn't deserve any of it. Izuku sighed. Wait, you mentioned something else happened? Asked Tsuyu, knowing it was probably better to change the subject. Izuku sighed and explained what happened to with the Nomu. Why it was just attacking you? Asked Katsuki. I don't know, explained Izuku, but I have a bad feeling why. I'll ask Nizu to have someone look into it. Sighed Inko, also getting a bad feeling. I'm running out time. So just tell us like day, let us know when you get the talk so that we can comfort you. Explained Katsuki. I already know about that. Explained Tenya. Not everything, mentally muttered Katsuki. Wait before you go. There's one more thing I have to tell you, cried out Izuku. That was when he told all of them he might have figured out how to finally do it one-on-one or have a limited group chat. About time, muttered Katsuki. I wonder why it took this long, wondered Tsuyu. I haven't tried to do it in a long time, explained Izuku. You haven't tried since before Achiko joined, Shoto realized. Yeah, admitted Izuku. We really should go, pointed out Achiko. Just let us know you get that talk, pointed out Inko. Izuku ended the telepathic call. What talk are they talking about? Asked Tenya. Both Izuku and Shoto blushed. It's better if someone else explains it, said Shoto. Soon enough they had gotten the okay to leave. It was decided that Tenya head home the rest of the week to mentally recover and to adjust to her new body, while Izuku and Shoto would go back to Endeavor's agency. With Izuku and Shoto, he was telling them, with your reputation now I expect you to show what you can do, said Endeavor. What he means is that he expects us to get in line with what he wants, thought Shoto as Izuku made the telepathy just between the two of them. You think he's angry that we took the credit, thought Izuku. No. I think he would have been angrier if he did have to take the credit, thought Shoto. Oh, thought Izuku with a sweat drop. Are you two paying attention? He demanded. We are, both of them said. He is definitely upset he wasn't able to take him down himself, thought Shoto. Izuku nodded. However, Endeavor noticed this nod, causing him to narrow his eyes and glare at Izuku, who froze at the glare. And soon the two were put into a harsh training, though less harsh that Shoto was put through before. That night, Tenya was staring at the ceiling. She had just gone through a few things with her mother about her body. The thing with the bra was predictable. But then her mother told her about that. Thankfully he felt Izuku open up the telepathy. Hey! He sounded exhausted. What the garbage fire do? Asked Katsuki. Just a lot of training. Sighed Izuku. Everyone else felt unconformable. It's not as much as usually trained me. Explained Shoto. That's not helping. Cried out Achiko. Almost all of have seen what he does. Pointed out Tsuyu. Well, it's not as bad. Explained Izuku. So you learned about Mother Nature's gift? Said Katsuki. I was always too polite to ask about it. Thought Tenya, but now I know. It will happen to you. Said Katsuki, if it happens to me it will happen to you. I take it that Izuku knows about it. Sighed Tenya. Mom taught me about it. Sighed Izuku. Since he is telepathically connected to girls. Explained Inko. Tenya nodded. So? Said Katsuki. I'm more worried about tomorrow, to be honest. Explained Tenya. What's going on tomorrow? Asked Achiko. I'm going to visit Tensei. Explained Tenya. She could almost feel everyone flinch. He hasn't been told yet about what happened? Asked Izuku. No. I asked to tell him in person. Explained Tenya. Are you going to be okay? Asked Inko. I'll be fine, but I have to do it myself. Explained Tenya. It's not like any of us can even be there with him. Pointed out Katsuki. You're right. Sighed Izuku. I hope everything will be okay. Assured Achiko. Remember my offer. Pointed out Izuku. I will. Replied Tenya. Offer? Asked Katsuki. Responded Izuku. If Izuku's quirk is able to heal, wouldn't it make sense for him to see how strong it is? Asked Shoto. But turning his older brother into a magical girl. I know what you're doing, but it's pretty fucking weird. Pointed out Katsuki. If he does accepts. Said Tsuyu. He might not want it. Agreed Inko. I know. Thought Izuku, well I have to go. I need my rest. Everyone bided good night and Tenya sighed. Tomorrow was going to be a hard day. The next day Tenya sighed as she looked at the door to her brother's hospital room. She knocked on the door. Come in, she heard Tensei's voice. Tenya took a breath and entered. Can I help you? Asked Tensei. I understand if you don't recognize me. Tenya said somewhat nervously, the transformation is a bit startling. Tensei's eyes widened. Tenya? Tenya nodded. She took a seat next to his bed. What happened? He asked. It's a long story. Sighed Tenya. Tensei sighed. You were hit by a gender-bending quirk during your internship, weren't you? Asked Tenya. Something like that. Sighed Tenya. She began to explain about Izuku's quirk and its abilities. Why would you have him use his quirk on you? He asked. I did something extremely stupid. Sighed Tenya. What do you mean? Asked Tensei. Well, you see. Sighed Tenya. She explained about how she decided to take revenge on Stain and how he was mortally wounded and the only way to save Tenya was to bond with Izuku. I'm so sorry. Cried Tenya, I was just filled with so much anger that I just had to. I had to. I wasn't thinking. Tensei looked at his now sister. It's okay, really Tenya, you're alive, even if you're now a girl. Said Tensei, you're alive, and that's all that really matters. But? Said Tenya. Tensei sighed, he knew right away that if the roles were reversed, he would go after the villain who would hurt Tenya. I think I would have done the same thing. He said. Really? Asked Tenya. Tensei nodded. Tenya breathed a sigh of relief. There's also something else I need to tell you. Said Tenya. What? Asked Tensei. Tenya told him about Izuku's offer and the fact that Izuku's powers healed a very old scar from one of their classmates. Tensei though about and realized his answer. That's a nice offer, but I'm going to have to decline it, said Tensei. It's not because of, said Tenya. No, turning into a girl isn't that bad to be honest. I mean last year I was transformed into a giraffe for 12 hours, being a woman for the rest of my life would be less awkward than that, said Tensei. Then why? Asked Tenya. Everyone already knows about my injury. If word spreads about how powerful his quirk's healing abilities are, he could be in danger, explained Tensei. Tenya's eyes widened. Healing quirks are rare, and if was able to save you from near death and remove a scar that had been there for years, combined with him possibly being capable of healing me, explained Tensei. You're right, said Tenya. I should have realized it. I know you have to tell people about what happened, but try to keep as quiet as possible, said Tensei. Telling people about it is bad. Tenya nodded. But then she realized something. Wait, did you say that you were transformed into a giraffe? Asked Tenya with a sweat drop. Yeah, it happened last year. It's a pretty funny story, said Tensei, but I don't think now's a good time to tell the story. That night they decided to have another short group chat conversation. That's why he declined, explained Tenya. I didn't even think about it, thought Izuku. I mean, it's one thing to heal an old scar or someone's whose life is in danger, but to heal that big of an injury that public already knows about, said Tsuyu. Are you sure it's not because of a girl thing? Asked Katsuki. Apparently last year Tensei was transformed into a giraffe, so I would believe he's telling the truth, thought Tenya. What? Thought Achiko, Izuku, Tsuyu and Katsuki. That makes sense, responded Shoto. Shoto did manage to hear the unicorn story. How does that make sense? Thought Katsuki. You don't want to know, replied Shoto. Also I think telling Izuku right would be a bad idea. But still, combined with the possibility of not aging along with healing that big of an injury, it does make sense to hide more things about Izuku's quirk, admitted Inko. Wait, possibly not aging? Asked Shoto. Shit. We forgot to tell you, didn't we? Asked Katsuki. Wait. Thought Tenya. We didn't tell you everything, admitted Izuku. The reason why I look so young is because I haven't aged since bonding with Izuku, and the doctors think you will all reach a point, explained Inko. You're serious? Replied Shoto. I would be upset with you not telling me, but considering Tensei's reasoning, I have to agree that shouldn't be talked about, agreed Tenya. You're not going to make any more bonds? Asked Shoto. The plan was for after I made the necessary two, I would still, but only if I was absolutely have to, or if they want to, if they have a good reason. Thought Izuku. It can't be because they like magical girl or because of power, or even because of eternal youth. The reason has to be a good one. That does make sense, thought Shoto. I need to get some rest, thought Izuku. Wait, do you have that name of that hairdresser? Asked Tenya. What? Asked Izuku. You're serious? Asked Katsuki. My mother says that I might look cute if I grew out my hair and put it in a certain style, thought Tenya. So it's your mom's idea, thought Katsuki. Look, I'm saying this from experience, but don't let your mom make you into a doll. It took years for the hag to stop dressing me up all the time. Icy Hot grew out his hair because he's having an identity crisis. Don't make yourself miserable because your mom thinks it will look cute. I should try new things with my body, said Tenya. That sounds like a terrible idea, pointed out Katsuki. Maybe you should have this be a text conversation, pointed out Izuku. Also, I take you haven't gone shopping yet. If they still fit okay, keep your pants, explained Katsuki. Don't worry, my mother did warn me about women's pants. Explain Tenya, why do they have fake pockets? I don't know, yelled Katsuki. I really should be going to bed, sighed Izuku. Fine, go to bed Deku, but I'm going to be texting you as much as I can to tell you how much of a fucking bad idea it will be, mentally yelled Katsuki. After bidding each other good night, Tenya got a text. And indeed, it was from Katsuki. Tenya did got shopping and did buy one dress to wear during certain events, but mostly did stick to her old pants along with other new clothes. Also Tenya did grow out her hair to try out the hairstyle that her mother thought she would look cute in. But still Tenya had to adjust to life as a girl, and at least his family understood why he did it, and that it was much better than being dead. But still, it was going to be a huge change and Tenya knew he or she would be able to pull through. That will be it for this part. I hope everyone enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and comment if you want part 26. If you want to hear more from me, subscribe. I hope to see you all in the next one.